Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and I just got back from a Walmart trip, which that was an adventure, but anyway, I did venture into the jewelry department, which they hardly had anything there, but they did have some Jesse James bead stuff. This one right here, and this one right here. Today, it's going to be all about this one because it's going to be Passion for Purple. When I saw they had all different kinds of kits, and they did have this purple one, I thought this will be perfect for the Passion for Purple. So today, we're going to unbox this and do some creating. So they're calling this the Window Box Bead Mix. And there's over 100 pieces in here, it says. And it says toggle clasp included, which I see it right there. Hydrangea is the name of it. Let's see what's in here. And it does, I mean, it says window box. It kind of looks like a window to me. So I guess that's where they got that from. They made it look like a window. Okay, beads, tassels, and charms for jewelry making. Make bracelets, necklaces, and earrings. And here's some different ideas that you could do with them. So we got some tassels in here, it looks. I wonder if those ear wires are in here. All right, let's see what we got. And I'm trying to remember how much this was. It was under $6, plus tax, of course. Okay, there we go. Here, I'm going to open this up so beads don't go all over the place. I'll be right back. All right, got it all open. Pour it all out here. Lots of stuff in here. All right, wow, we've got two kinds of tassels. We've got these little floral looking tassels. And it looks like we're mixing our metals. I love that about Jesse James beads. I've always been one to mix my metals, and I like that they do that a lot. It's a little gold on there. Where's the other one? So we have two tassels like this. And then we have two tassels like this. Again, we got the gold. And see, we have silver beads and findings in here. And see, we have two beads like this. These are, I don't think these are glass. I think they are acrylic. And let's see. Here's a butterfly, here's a butterfly, here's some more butterflies. We got 4 butterflies. Interesting that the hole is in the middle, so it's almost like a bead cap. I think that's where the hole is. Well, it is in the middle, but you could make it where it would lay like this, because here's the front of it. And here's the back. You flip these all over. And then we have these teardrops. Now, I don't think all of these are acrylic. This is, but these don't feel like acrylic. We have some melon beads here. And again, I think these are acrylic here. And then we have these metal beads. So just 3 of them. So we have 3 of these. They have like a little branch on them. Here's the toggle. Oh, it's interesting. We have a couple of toggles. So here's the 2 bottoms and the 2 tops, which you could interchange either way, or you could switch them. I think they would work. All right, we have little bead frames, 2 of those. These are interesting here. Just little discs. We have 1 of these. And we have these glass crystals here, little squares. I like the flash on those. Those are pretty. I wonder if they would fit. No, they're not going to fit in there. And then we have these beads. They're like spacer beads. 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8 of these. And then we have these bead caps. Looks like we have 10 of them. And then we have these really pretty lavender, kind of milky. They're kind of a milky blue. So we have, to me, I see lavenders and blues and purples in here. They do have a little flash of the purple. I don't know if it's just reflecting some of this purple that we see here. There's quite a few of these. Look at that. Trying to figure out what I want to create with all these pretty things. Separate all these out. I believe all of these are glass. All right. Get the tassels back in here. So that is what is in the Hydrangea window box mix from Jesse James Beads. Now I want to create, actually it is after lunch time. I'm going to go in there and make me some lunch, and after I'm done, this will give me time to figure out what I want to create. I will need to get some head pins, some ear wires, beading cord if I want to make a necklace, and some bead tips to secure anything. What would you make with all this? I'll be right back. All right, got my lunch out of the way. And I've designed 6 earrings, 6 pair of earrings for us to make out of the Jesse James beads that I bought from Walmart. And I still have a ton of beads left over. All of these are pretty simple to make. Let's start with the easiest. So what we're going to need are, for each earring, so I'm making 1 earring here, so you're going to multiply this by 2. You need 2 of the little floral bead caps. You need a melon bead. And then I had a hard time deciding which little crystal I wanted to use, but I decided to use the kind of milky blue one. We need a head pin and an ear wire. And that's all we need. Of course, we need our tools. Those are always a necessity. So what I did is I just started with a bead cap, and then the melon bead, and then another bead cap, and topped it off with this really pretty crystal. Very simple. Now you want to make sure that your head pin has a big enough little bottom to it that your beads are not going to fall off the end. If they do, I just usually add a little seed bead, little silver seed bead at the bottom. But I didn't need that for these. And usually when I do that, I'll top it off with one of those beads too. All right, so you get to this point and we're just going to do a simple loop. Just bend it at a 90-degree angle. I usually measure with my finger here. Hang on to that wire because it will go flying, and then you just roll a loop just like this. And once you got your loop made, you're going to open up the loop and put your ear wire on, close the loop, you're done. Look at that. Those are some really quick earrings. And wouldn't these make a nice little gift? Maybe for just a little something extra in a stocking, or maybe we're close to Christmas when I'm filming this. Actually, less than 2 months away. So it would be nice to maybe have a little gift like that in a stocking stuffer, or maybe a gift for a teacher, or just a little something for your sister or your mother or yourself. But anyway, I really like these. And those were very quick and easy. And the next ones we're going to do, let's see, which one will we do next? Oh, we're going to do another simple one. So remember those little flower beads that were in there? We're going to use one of those and one of the dark purple glass crystals. And then I'm using 22 gauge wire. Of course, we're going to need an ear wire. Did I not get an ear wire out for that? I didn't. We definitely need an ear wire. All right. So first thing we're going to do with our 22 gauge wire, we're going to make a head pin. And the reason I'm doing this is because these holes are pretty big and they don't stay on the head pin, and they're even kind of big for a seed bead. So I want something bigger at the bottom. Now you could, you know, want to use one of these beads and flank it at the top and the bottom, but that's really not the look I wanted. So I get about 2 inches of wire, and I've shown how to do this a couple of times on my channel. They're very easy to do. And then you take your round nose pliers and you're just going to roll a loop just a couple of times. I usually do it twice around until the second time around the starting butts up against the wire here. And then once you have that done, you're just going to bend it up. So it kind of looks like a golf club there. And then you're going to put the end of the wire in the hole. Okay. And then I just grab it with my flat nose pliers and pull. And you have a little knot. Could be a rosette or whatever. Now sometimes you might want to kind of fix it a little bit. It may be wonky, or the little end may be sticking out, so you can just kind of fix it like that. And I do feel my end sticking out. Okay, I've got it in there now. So I'm going to take my flower bead, I'm going to put it on there, kind of pull it a little bit. You don't want to pull it too much, but just want to make sure that that knot is tied in a knot. And then I'm putting my glass crystal at the top. And then this time I'm just going to wrap a loop. I want the loop to be small, to be thin, so I'm using the tip of my pliers. You may have to adjust your pliers a little bit and just wrap the extra wire around. You may want to use other pliers. Some people can use their hands, which usually I do, but this is a really short one, so I'm going to kind of use my pliers a little bit. And then carefully, you want to tuck that wire in. You don't want it sticking out, but you want to be really careful because you could crack this bead. These are glass and they will crack. Once you get it in there, just scooching around a little bit too much. You just have to be patient. Once you get it in there, kind of adjust your wire. You want to feel around and make sure that that is not sticking out. Excuse me a little bit. I just need to get it closer to my eyes so I can see what I'm doing. Sometimes you need to do that. Just get it up close. All right, so once you have it tucked in, you're just gonna open up your ear wire, put that on there like that, and close her up. And we have earring number 2. Aren't those pretty? Again, these would make a really nice little gift. So these next 4 pair of earrings are a little bit more difficult. I'm going to be using 22 gauge wire for this next one. This little teardrop. I am going to need a head pin. And then we're going to need those little pearls, those little purple pearls. We need 4 of those. Now remember, this is per earring, not per set. So when you're doing the set, you need to multiply everything by 2. Okay, if I get this out of there. There we go. So for those, we're going to use this little bead frame. And again, I did not get my ear wire out. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I did that with all of them. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our head pin and we're going to put the teardrop on there like so. And we're just going to make a simple loop like I showed you on one of the previous earrings. And once we get this made, we're just going to set it aside. Let me set that ear wire aside. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put purple little pearl bead, and then this is a little tricky. You just have to be very, very patient. You don't want to feed your wire all the way up there yet. Hardest part's trying to find the hole. There we go. Okay, found that one. Well, we don't want to stick it up through there yet. We've got another bead we want to put on there. Now, the other earring that I was doing, the mate to this one actually went on really easy. Oh, I think this one's going to go on easy too. Yes, it did. Ooh, good. And then we need a bead at the top. So we're going to have something like this. All right, we're going to make a link. So we need our round nose pliers. And we're going to do a messy wrapped loop around here a couple times, or however long, however you want it, and tuck that wire in. Now with this particular earring, one end I did a messy loop, and the other end I did a little bit more neater loop. And I did that on purpose. Okay. Now we need to feed our beads down the wire. I did a messy loop here, so this one's going to be a little bit neater loop. Like that. Trim that and tuck the wire in, again being very careful not to get on top of that pearl, or you don't want to be squeezing this because you'll break that pearl. You don't want that. Okay, so we have our link all done up. We have this and we have this, and now we're going to put them all together. Now, you want to make sure you do both earrings the same way. I have the messy loop at the bottom, and that's where we're going to hang this bead. Sometimes those messy loops, I kind of look at them as maybe an extra bead. It still is not tucked in very well. Okay, and then we need the ear wire on there. And now we have made 3 pair of earrings, halfway there. Whoops, might need to straighten that up a little bit. Aren't those pretty? Very geometric. If you're into shapes and everything, these are the earrings for you. Wouldn't that be? That'd be kind of fun for maybe a math teacher. All right, so we have 3 earrings done, 3 to go. The next one, we're actually going to be doing pretty much the same process, just different beads. We're going to use this silver metal bead. It's got a little branch on it, and then a melon bead, and we need an ear wire. And we need some 22 gauge wire. Nope, that's 20 gauge. Got to make sure I use the right wire. You probably could use 20 gauge. All right, so we are going to, oh, something else we needed too. Need a head pin. Thought I had that out. Thought I was being really careful getting all my supplies out, but at least they're just right here, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, the first thing we're going to do is put the melon bead on the head pin like so, and just do a simple loop. Like I said, these earrings are very similar to the ones we just made, but actually are a little bit easier. Okay, and just roll your loop. Set that aside along with the ear wire. Okay, I thought I used 22 gauge wire on this earring, but actually I'm using 20 gauge wire. But it really doesn't matter, you can use either one. Just make sure when you do the earrings, they're both the same wire. All right, so we're just going to make, again, we're going to make a link. And I think I kind of did the same thing on this. I have one side where it is a neater loop than the other, one end. I think this is the end. I did a messy loop here, so we'll do a messier loop. And then we just put everything together. Make sure everything's closed up. You don't want to lose any beads. And there we go. Earring and number 4. Aren't those pretty? This next pair of earrings is a tassel earring. So this is the tassel you need. You know, if you wanted to do this with other beads besides these Jesse James beads, you could do them with other beads and a different tassel. Pretty much the same techniques I use to make my jewelry. You can use whatever beads you want. But I'm just kind of showing you a little idea here of how you can use these Jesse James beads. They're all purple, so it works for the Passion for Purple collab that I'm actually involved in. So don't forget about Passion for Purple. When you're done with this, I hope you go check out all the other participants and see what kind of things they're making with purple this month. All right, so for this particular one, we are mixing our metals. This has a gold jump ring and it's wrapped in gold. I'm using a gold ear wire, a gold eye pin. I'm using one of those glass pearls and one of these really pretty flashy square beads, a butterfly, and one of the bead caps. So first thing I'm going to do is hang the tassel onto this eye pin. I think I may call this a head pin. It's an eye pin because it has a little eye. And you can make your own eye pins. And if you wanted to make a link like I just showed you, you could do that too. Anyway, so we have our tassel hanging. And now just put the beads. First I put the little box. And then usually when you put a bead cap on, you put it that way. But I am actually going to do it upside down and put this little pearl in here. It's going to be like a flower. And this little butterfly landed on the flower. So that's kind of what I envisioned with this. And so then we're just going to make a simple loop. Because this particular eye pin is not very long, I do not have to cut anything. So I'm just going to roll the loop and then open it up, hang the ear wire on, and close it up. And with these earrings I'm making, you really don't need to make sure they're the right or wrong way because the beads spin around, so it doesn't really make any difference. And there is our little butterfly earrings, our little butterfly landing on our flower. Look at that. We got one more pair of earrings now. So for this last pair of earrings, we're using another different tassel that was in that mix. And we are going to be using one of the bead caps. We are using a butterfly. And we're going to be using this little crystal. And of course we need our ear wire. And we need some, I'm using 22 gauge wire for this. So the way I'm hanging these, let me think. Because sometimes you have to think backwards. I want to hang the tassel on. So I'm needing to hang these backwards, which will have the bead cap, the bead, and whoop, I did it wrong. See, I wanted to hang it hang this here, so I did it wrong. So I need to do the butterfly first. And remember, I have to do him upside down. Okay, then the crystal, then the bead cap, because it's going to hang like this. So we're working from the bottom up. All right. So I make a loop, and we are mixing our metals on this one. Hang on to that. Just do kind of a messy. Well, I don't think, maybe I didn't do a messy. I thought I did a messy one on this. I was looking at my other earring. It is not, well, it is messy. So you want to make sure the earrings match as much as possible. They're not going to match exactly because you are not a machine. And it's not like you stick them in the machine and the machine does the same exact thing over and over. And that's one thing I like about homemade. Handmade, homemade. It's very unique. And that's what I like about it. Eclectic even sometimes. Okay, that's still sticking out. I want to make sure. It's still sticking out. All right. Feed all our beads down there. This is what we're making. Hang the ear wire on, and we're done with all of our earrings. 6 pair of earrings, and I have to show you, I still have a ton of beads left over. Aren't those pretty? I love the movement of these. And look at all the beads I have left over. You can make a necklace, or I'll tell you what I'm going to do with them. I'm just going to add them to my stash. These would make great spacer beads, most of them, for any projects that I might have down the line. These would not, but I'll tell you what these would be good for. I like to make zipper pulls for my Blythe dolls, and these might really make some good little pull charms. But there's a lot of beads left over, and we were able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 pair of earrings, and still have a ton of beads left over to make some more stuff. I really like the way these turned out. I think my favorite, believe it or not, are these right here. I like the little flowers. Very simple, and they're going to be very sparkly on. These are going to make really nice little extra gifts to give to somebody. I'd like to thank y'all for joining me, and let me know which of these earrings are your favorite. And like I said, go check out all the other participants of the Passion for Purple collaboration that is hosted by Metal Scrappin' Chick. Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.